Hey guys, it's been a couple of months now since my last video. I've been kind of back and forth into thinking what videos to actually make, and hair loss has been kind of one of my main concerns throughout the years, to be honest. I started receding when I was 16, so I'm now 28 years old, and I do think it's a miracle that I still have some sort of hair, some sort of hair. Well, the amount of hair that I have at the moment, it's been pretty insane how many things I've experimented with and all that sort of stuff. And I admit the amount I've receded since I was 16 has been pretty minimal. And I remember the day that I did find out I was receding. It was a pretty big impact towards myself. It was impact emotionally. Yeah, I was at a restaurant with my sister's boyfriend at the time, and surprisingly, he's bald. It's kind of ironic. But I had my hair pretty long at the time. I had it like mullet-ish style, kind of. And my sister just points out, and says, "Daniel, you're receding." I'm just like, what? What? I didn't even know what she meant. Like, I didn't actually know what receding was. She was like pointing at my head and says, "You're losing your hair. You're losing your hair." And it was just like one like humorous thing to her. But then, of course, I took it pretty personal in a way. I know like she's my sister and she cares for me, but in a way, it was a big hit. It was a big hit to my confidence as well, and probably a couple years later, I was doing a lot of research about it, by the way, and I was visiting a few doctors at the time. I was like, "Can I get my hair back? Can I do anything?" And they're like, "No, it's male pattern baldness, and you just need to let life take its course." Um, they didn't mention anything about minoxidil or finasteride at the time. I do know about a lot of it now because I've done quite a bit of research myself, and I'm sure you guys watching this video have as well. So I didn't really want to take risks with any chemicals or any harsh chemicals. I know there's videos on finasteride about sexual health and all that stuff. I didn't really want like I'm. Let me come clean. I was diagnosed as diabetic when I was 20 something. So that alone is very, very scary to my health. And I don't want other things adding on to my health as well, like being detrimental to my health. Can't talk today. Um, but yeah, so finasteride and minoxidil was not on my books at all. The fact is, minoxidil was kind of on my books for a little bit, but then having to take it for the rest of your life, and I've done research to see that over time, minoxidil, its effects degrade over time. I don't know whether that's true. I've only seen studies on it, so I'm assuming it is. After like 2.5 years, then it degrades exponentially. So that was a bit scary. So later on, probably when I was 22, of course, I've used a lot of tonics on the way. Still kept. I've had shedding phases. I've had all these types of things. I've used Neoxyl, that ketoconazole, before, and that was just horrible, absolutely horrible to my hair. I had so much build-up of sebum. It was like little blackheads all over your scalp, and then when you scratch it, because it gets really itchy, you could see like the little sebum head with the hair follicle in it, and that just scared the shit out of me. And my head was like literally red sometimes. My scalp was really dry, and it was just terrible, absolutely terrible. And I took that for probably a good month, and it's, yeah, because I know what you're thinking. Why did you take it for so long? It was because people on forums and things like that, they just said, look, just give it a go. You're going to experience your shedding phase with anything, you know, and with time, who knows what will happen. But yeah, it was just too many bad reactions on my scalp, so I just threw it away. Anyway, continuing the story, when I was 22, I told my sister that I want to shave my head bald because it was really, really tiring worrying about hair loss and all that stuff. So in a way, I kind of gave up and I shaved everything to a number 2. So I didn't go all the way, but it kind of made me see what I'd look like if I was fully bald. And then the problem is, you can see my head shape. I don't really have a good jawline either. I have no jaw, or a little bit of a jawline. Need to do more mewing. But I don't think I have a good head shape for being bald, and the fact is I'm half Asian, and it just makes it even worse, you know, like being of Asian descent. Hair is a really, really big thing, and styling my hair and all that sort of stuff it kind of gives you your own identity in a way. And I was still, in the back of my head, I was still self-conscious, even though I did give up and I said, okay, shave it all. I looked in the mirror. I didn't really like it too much, and it was kind of funny because when I actually shaved my head bald, I got a lot of comments like saying, you're balding, you're balding, you're balding. And I was like, yeah, I am. And of course I took it personally at the same time, but there was nothing I could really do about it. So, end of the day, I was on a streak of looking up hair transplants, and I live in Australia, and in Australia there is not many good hair transplant doctors, and there's only a couple which is notable in where I live. And so I gave him a ring, asked for, a consultant to give me some advice, and they said it's going to be $250 straight off just because of it. I was like, fuck, that's just stupid, man. Like, it's just ridiculous how much money that is just straight off the bat. No advice whatsoever. Just hand him $250. Like, sure, I do have that money, but I don't want to just give it up, you know? Like, I may not go with this doctor. I may go with another doctor. That's why, like, doctors should have free bloody, like, meetings with their patients, future patients. But yeah, that was kind of my only chance. And so I was kind of considering going overseas and things like that, but I'm kind of at that stage of life where I have work and it's pretty hard for me to take time off, and it's still like, it'll probably be a good couple weeks before I get back to work, you know, like you fly off to Turkey or some country, then come back really jet lagged. That's 4 days gone already, you know, because Europe's really far from me. So maybe not, maybe in the future, who knows. But yeah. Well, that's kind of my story at the moment. As you can still see, I kind of have my Norwood 2.5, some diffuse going on. You can still see my scalp a little bit. I don't think it's that bad though. Like I said, I've used quite a lot of tablets, natural tablets, and quite a bit of tonic as well, which I'll show you in another video as well. What is notable though is not long ago, a couple years back, I've had blood tests here and there to see if I was deficient in any vitamins or anything like that, like vitamin A, B, C, D. My first doctor said I'm deficient in vitamin D, so I had to take vitamin D tablets. I don't know if that affects hair loss. hair loss. And I got another blood test pretty recently, and they said that I was not iron deficient, but I was low in iron, and iron can indeed cause hair loss. So those are two noteworthy things where you can't just assume everything is related to DHT or hormonal issues or anything like that. So check with your doctor first. Like I said, I don't know if my issue per se was indeed due to vitamin deficiency. I don't think it is. I do think, because like probably 99% chance it's probably DHT related, but it's worth, like I said, it's worth talking with your doctor to see if something else is kind of adding on to what's going on in your head. So it's interesting to note. That's pretty much all I have to say, and I'll see you when I see you. Any questions, let me know. Peace out.